Hello, Radiant Soul. Welcome to episode 4 of Soul Transmission. I'm Lorani, and in this mini podcast, I share channeled messages, soul wisdom, and practical guidance for your mind, body, and soul. As always, I channel a message from the universe by pulling a tarot card to see what the universe wants us to know today. And for this episode, I pulled the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is the first major arcana card I've pulled since starting this mini podcast. The major arcana in tarot are the 21 most powerful cards in the deck. They tell a story of life, a story of transformation, and it tells the story of a journey from the beginning all through challenges, self-awareness, wisdom, transformation, until the journey reaches its completion. So the High Priestess is card 2 in the Major Arcana journey. So out of those 21 cards, this is the second card. It's technically the third card in this journey because the Major Arcana begins with card 0, which is the Fool. It is the beginning of something, and then it moves to card 1, the Magician, and then we land on card 2, which is the High Priestess. This card represents the divine, feminine, spiritual energy. It is about dreams and intuition. It is about psychic insight and introspection. It is the hidden knowledge that we all hold inside. The High Priestess is also about sacred insights and profound wisdom. On the card, what you'll see is this beautiful, regal woman. She's sitting on a throne, and she's sitting between two pillars. One is black, one is white. So she's sitting between the light and the darkness. She's wearing a beautiful robe that's blue in color. Her crown has a moon, a crescent moon symbol, and you also find the crescent moon at her feet. So what this represents is that she has one foot in the conscious realm and the other in the unconscious. So this is a highly spiritual card. It is highly vibrational. It's very mystical, and sometimes it's quite mysterious, and that's the energy that this card is meant to project. So when the High Priestess shows up in your reading, what does it mean? Firstly, I think it means that you're meant to reflect on something that's hidden, right? So that could be the psyche. What are you holding in your unconscious that you're not becoming consciously aware of? The High Priestess can also represent intuition. Do you need to pay attention to your intuition more? Is the universe trying to tell you something that maybe you haven't picked up on just with your own two eyes, right? So this is about using your third eye, your crown chakra, being open to the messages that the universe wants to send you. Thinking back on personal experiences, and maybe this will resonate for you. Have you ever had a sudden knowing that something was going to happen? And it doesn't have to be that, that deep or mysterious. It could be like you're thinking of a friend and they call you, or, you bump into them out in the world, or you just have a feeling about not going to a certain place or going down a certain road. Or many times it could be a knowing that you have to pick up the phone and make that call or send that email. And that turns into a wonderful opportunity that wouldn't have come across your life if you hadn't taken that action. So this is the energy of the High Priestess, right? It wants us to pay attention to the synchronicities that we're encountering. Those little tiny nudges from the universe where you think it's, oh, is this a coincidence or is this more than that? Gosh, there are so many synchronicities out in the world. One that we all, I think, recognize or see quite often are the repeating angel numbers. We see them out in the world when we're driving on license plates, or you'll look at your phone and it'll be 1111. So you happen to your eyes happen to have landed on these angel numbers at a particular time. What message do they have for you? And perhaps that's a whole nother podcast and a whole nother topic to explore, but that is one way to pay attention to your intuition and to synchronicities. Sometimes synchronicities come through songs, right? Through music. Perhaps we're struggling with something and we listen to a song and it has a profound message for us. Or, we're thinking of a situation and someone just has the answer for us out of the blue. They might mention it and you might say, wow, I was just thinking about that. Or, oh my gosh, I really needed to hear that. So the universe is trying to communicate with us every day and at every moment. We just have to pause. We have to be still and we have to listen. And these are all messages coming from the High Priestess. So I think the High Priestess is also posing a question for us today. I think she's asking how we can strengthen our intuition, how we can listen to our own divine wisdom, our own hidden knowledge to help us through whatever we're struggling with. Now, it might be a challenge, it might be something joyful, right? A new job, a fresh move, a new relationship. And many times when we are stuck, when we are unsure of the next step, we're unsure of ourselves, the only answer is to go within. And some powerful ways to connect with your inner self and your inner world are, number one, meditation. Many years ago, when I personally was struggling with something, just life changes and new starts, new beginnings, I felt quite lost. And I was really drawn to the practice of meditation. I had never meditated before. I had only heard of it, and I was curious. I challenged myself to listen to meditation tracks, guided meditation tracks, and I did consecutive days of meditation. It was really hard at first. I think it's so hard to sit still and to have your thoughts just bombard you and come rushing into your head. And my goodness, it was a deluge of thoughts and thinking and remembering and worrying. And I think many people get turned off to the idea of meditation for that reason. But the more you meditate, the more you listen to your inner voice. And the way it helped me, and I think the way it helps many people, is that when you are in your waking day and having these thoughts, maybe catastrophic thoughts or worst case scenarios in your head, it creates a pause. For me, it created an awareness like, oh, okay, I'm having a thought. You start to learn to see thoughts as natural and normal things that come in and out of your mind, but also it teaches you not to give them so much power, so much weight, so much energy. It strengthens your mind to redirect these thoughts into more positive thoughts or realistic thoughts. So meditation is such a powerful way to listen to yourself, to go within, and to strengthen your intuition. Another great practice is journaling. Journaling is great for when you want to unload everything on your mind, when you're having an issue and you just need to vent and you need to get it out. Sometimes, well, it can be really helpful to talk to someone, to talk to a friend about it. But I personally have found that writing my thoughts down and using a journal, ideally on a daily basis, is such a great way to put them down on paper and to process them and to feel better about what you're holding inside. And you can actually read back on your thoughts maybe a day later, a few days later, and that in itself can bring up so much clarity. And a third powerful way to strengthen your intuition and to go within, to listen to your inner voice and your higher self, I think, is to bring ritual into your life. Now, rituals come in many forms. They can be really simple rituals, some are more intricate and in depth, but a ritual just means a practice that you do daily or you do it with intention, and it is meant to connect you to the universe or to your higher self. A ritual can be lighting a candle every day and saying an intention out loud, or to maybe ask the universe for guidance. I personally love to work with incense. So, lighting an incense daily and setting an intention to me feels really calming and it feels really peaceful. And it sets the tone for my day. And I find that when I have a question or I'm struggling with something or I want to connect with the universe, that intention I set before my ritual will often just bring that answer to me later on, or it'll bring some new awareness. So, this is such a great way to connect your spirit to the universe and to ask out loud or just in your heart space for direction. And you'll see that the more you do this and the more you're open to getting this answer, right? Or to hearing this message, whatever it is that you need to hear, the universe will deliver. So I think this is our message for today, courtesy of the High Priestess. And if this message resonated with you and you're curious about this card, the energy of the High Priestess, if you have a tarot deck, I encourage you to find the card in the deck, to sit with it for a few minutes with your eyes closed. Connect with the power of this card. If you're struggling with something or if you need some guidance, connect with the High Priestess and ask her to bring you that wisdom, to bring you that information and that knowledge. And if you're open to it, maybe put the card out somewhere where you can see it every day for a few days, maybe light a candle or an incense for the High Priestess. And that in itself is a beautiful ritual to connect with this card, or actually any tarot card that you feel really drawn to. So that was today's message, and I thank you so much for joining me here today on another episode of Soul Transmission. Thank you for joining me, and I will connect with you again soon.